Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, crypto traders, hodlers, and investors. Welcome to Crypto Traders Room, last frontier in keeping it real with honesty and integrity. This is your host, Crypto Trader. And if you're a new-time viewer, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. And don't forget to stay connected with us on Steam, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And make sure to click on that subscribe button, as well as the post notification. And if you do find this information helpful, don't forget to pound that like button. But what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Jack, what's up, buddy? Skytech, good morning, buddy. Hope everybody's doing well on this wonderful Friday morning or evening or night, depending on where you're located. We're all from different parts of the world, different time zones. But yes, a pleasure to have everyone here. Welcome. And if you're a new-time viewer, don't be shy. Say what's up. Get your name on that live chat. Rowena, good morning. Crypto Cutter, what is up, buddy? David Carroll, hope all is well. What is going on in this market today? Not too bad. Not too bad. Hopefully you guys aren't panicking or nervous. BTC is down, of course. ETH is down. Bitcoin Cash is holding it up 5%. 5% at 351, which isn't too bad for it at all. And of course, Litecoin is down. So, the three dominating cryptocurrencies in the sense of BTC, ETH, and LTC are down today. But ETH is not down too much, only 0.7%. We're going to have those days and whatnot. But let's take a look and see anything else is taking a beating. But, nothing too bad. Zcash up 8%. That's not too bad at all. So anybody that's holding Zcash, congratulations. That's awesome. EDO, it's up 19%. EDO. NEO, 1.5%. Doge. I don't know if Daniel's on this, but I forgot to cover Doge. So I might briefly take a look at Doge because I did promise him I will take a look at it on the last live stream. And of course, I completely forgot. So if Strong Hands Daniel gets on here, we'll cover that briefly. Zen up 9%. Nothing has really taken a beating, though. Nothing has taken a huge beating. DGB up 5% as well. NXC up 5%. RIC, I have no clue what RIC is. That's just something new. So, CryptoWatch has been loading a lot of new cryptocurrencies on here, which is very good. And that's something that they've been lacking. Storage down 99%. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Let me take a look at this real quick. Darkness, what is up, buddy? Pusher. You took a chance on Zcoin a couple weeks ago. It's doing okay, up 11%. Absolutely, man. Congrats. Congrats on that. So storage, what is up with storage? This thing took a beating for some apparent reason. Yeah, not sure what the deal with this is to be down 99%. I'll have to research this later on. Let the coins rise. Yeah, especially, if you guys are holding some of these altcoins, let them rise. I want you guys to make money. As long as, you take profit when the opportunity is there. That's probably one of the biggest things that a lot of new traders make, and of course seasoned traders as well too, where I make those mistakes where, I don't lock in those profits at key levels of resistance. And at least, lock in some of the profit. But let's go ahead and take a look at ETH. We'll take a look at, BTC. We'll take a look at ETH in comparison to what I plotted out last Wednesday. Davey Reed, what is up? Yeah, 99%. That's wild. That is wild. I'll have to look into it a little more because I do farm storage, so I don't really know what that drop is all about. I don't think it dropped everywhere. I think it just might be, hopefully it's some sort of glitch. What do we think about BTC, bull or bear? Well, let's take a look at the chart and see exactly what it's doing. So what, Wednesday, the 25th. So 536 was that low, had a nice move up, broke 6,000, but couldn't maintain it. And 6,000 was a resistance. As we can see several times, it broke out a little bit, came back down. It didn't maintain, that level. It didn't maintain above that 6,000. So you know, I mean, it's still going to be a strong resistance considering 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times it kind of got rejected. It didn't maintain that healthy level that it should maintain. It broke down a little bit. So we'll see, you know, as time goes on, if it's going to start breaking other key areas of support. It already broke through the first area of support, which was the 57.33. We'll see if she gets to 56 and maybe retest out the 5,400. It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. But that 5,400 should have, and should is always a magic word, should have some sort of support with it. But let's go ahead and extend our day, considering we are on the 27th. So we'll see exactly, you know, as the day progresses, how she's going to play out, how she's going to trend within that specific day, whether she's going to maintain a healthy level or she's going to start breaking those key levels of support. But I'm surprised, you know, people are not buying this up. But maybe towards, you know, close to November, close to that, you know, SegWit 2X fork, then, you know, we could hopefully see some sort of push up to the upside and hopefully maintain that $6,000 level. That's kind of what we're hoping. The rug really tied the room together. Okay, that message was for Pusher. Davey, curious about BTC in what sense? You know, what it's going to do, I'm assuming. I mean, it's hard to tell what it's going to do, to be honest with you. You know, all we could do is kind of look at, you know, key levels of support, key levels of resistance, and see how she maintains those key levels. And if she can maintain the 5,600, that's a strong support. And if she can't, then, you know, there are other areas of support. But bare bottom support, of course, is going to be that, you know, 5,400, 5,350-ish, something to that extent, or 5,365, considering that was where it kind of bottomed out before having a really nice run up to above 6,000. So only time will tell as time goes on. But yeah, if you're looking for an entry, you know, wait for it to kind of bottom out. And that bottom should be right around the 5,350-ish, 5,365, something in that range, considering she had a really nice bounce. But you got to learn to take profits unless you're really holding this long term and you're going to kind of buy it and kind of forget it. You know, if you're just looking to lock in the profit and buy back in on the dip, you got to take those profits when it hits 6,000. Yeah, it might break out a little bit above 6,000, and it's okay to leave a little bit of money on the table, like I've said before. But yeah, not taking profits, it could come back and you can end up giving up majority of your profits. So anybody that got in at 5,400, you know, right now they haven't given up majority of their profits, but they could have locked in a better profit at 6,000 and then possibly bought back in at 5,700. Litecoin, I do like Litecoin. I do. It's a very stable cryptocurrency, and we're going to take a look at that as well too. So let's go ahead and get to F and see what it's doing in comparison to the support and resistance and the daily trend. Yeah, Crypto Cutter, I was going to ask you about that too. See how your mining is working out for you. Still within that trend. Still within that trend. Ever since the 25th, you know, it hasn't really bounced above $300, and it hasn't really broken below, let's just say, you know, 290 bucks. So it's still maintaining that healthy trend. And this is kind of the channel that you want to look for, you know, so if she does get to, you know, somewhere in the range of, you know, 289 bucks, that would be a good entry. And then profit would really be that 299, at least to lock in some of the profit. But yeah, that's really the trend that she's showing us. And as long as you can channel this trend, you know, there's profit to be made, but you know, you got to be in and out unless you're holding this long term. And if you're holding long term, you have to have that long term outlook. But currently right now, you know, there's a possibility she could retest the 289 or the 290. And I mean, it's not too far away from that 290. So as BTC is going down, of course, F is gonna take a little breather as well too. But yeah, still within that trend. It has not broke out above the 300 and maintained the 300, and it has not broken down below the 290 and maintained, you know, the 290 level. So I mean, this is looking healthy, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's more of a consolidation ever since the 25th. Even, you know, if we look at a longer time frame, you know, this is a healthy consolidation moving sideways. So if this thing does get to that 289, you know, I might be looking to take a little bit of a position, not much. Maybe I'll buy a half of F, you know, in case she does decide to break it and retest out that 273, and then I'll add a little bit more, kind of scaling in, you know, as it's dropping and breaking key levels of support. But yeah, not much of a movement. Not much of a movement. This is kind of boring, to be honest with you guys. You know, I want to see some nice swings. I want to see this thing channel, you know, maybe within a $15 to $20 range, and then kind of pull back and then channel that again, you know, attempt to break out, pull back down. You know, that's really what I kind of look forward to. So, you know, the past couple of days, you know, almost 2.5 days, this has been a very boring price action movement. Nothing exciting at all with it. Let's see what BTC, let's see what LTC is doing. And LTC is going to be probably the exact same thing. Chart looks exactly similar to what F looks like. And I thought I plotted out the support and resistance on this, but I guess I did not. So let's go ahead and plot out some key points of interest, at least key points of interest that I see. So let me break down the days real quick, just so I have an idea exactly how she's trending within those specific days. All right, so same thing. Ever since the 25th, that's really the range. So she hasn't really come down to getting below or getting, you know, testing that level of 50, a little under 54 bucks. Let's see what that exact level was. 53.77. So we'll just say 54 bucks just to make the math easy. But yeah, she hasn't really, you know, broken down to that level and retested that level. And she hasn't really, you know, ever since, what was that, the 26th, she hasn't really come back up and retested that $57. So, you know, she's somewhere in the happy medium right now, waiting for a direction, whether the bulls or the bears are going to take control. And either, you know, the bulls are going to move it up or the bears are going to move it down. But that support should, magic word, you know, 53, 78, 54 bucks, unless the bears really decide to take control and bring it down. And if they bring it down, then we are going to have another level of support, and that level of support will be the bottom that is set right on the 23rd, which will be somewhere in the range of 52.50. So, you know, if she does retest at $53.50 or $54, you know, if you're looking to get into this position, that wouldn't be a bad entry. Kind of be patient, wait for it. A little bit of an entry, not to go all in. And then if she ends up breaking that level, then, you know, your second entry would be somewhere in the range of the 52.45 to kind of have a better lower cost average. But that's really the trend. You know, ever since the 25th, that is a trend she's playing. And your risk reward is going to be a lot better, or your reward versus your risk is going to be better if you do get an entry somewhere close to that 53.80, 54 bucks, instead of buying it here and then, you know, trying to determine, okay, you know what, my risk and reward is basically kind of even, you know, because she could retest at 57, pull back down, or she could retest at 54 and get right back up to the 55. So right now, you know, she's currently in somewhere in the happy medium, happy range, but she hasn't completely, you know, broken down or broke out above those ranges yet. But yeah, for a Friday, you know, I'm surprised this thing is not breaking down or breaking out, but it's only a matter of time before, you know, she does decide, you know, what direction she's going to take. Now let's see what you guys are saying. Hoping for a pullback so you can buy more. Yeah, exactly. Be patient with it. You know, Wolf of GDAX, that's the best thing to do. Be patient with it. Let it come to you. You know, don't go chasing it. And you're going to be a lot more happy and comfortable with your entry when you're patient with it. Let's see. This is SE. Welcome, by the way, buddy. Let's discuss the upcoming overstock ICO when you're done with these analysis. You know, I don't know too much about it, but yeah, I mean, we could talk about it. That's not an issue at all. I haven't really researched the overstock ICO. I know what overstock is. I've used them in the past. They are heavily traded, you know, on the traditional stock market. And it's great that, you know, something that's, you know, traded on the stock market is coming out with an ICO. And I think it's the only company that I'm aware of, unless there are other ones, that are really doing very well in the traditional stock market that have, you know, a good amount of support, and they're coming out with an ICO. So that's really going to lure people in, you know, that are really a believer in the overstock stock. Had a hard time saying that. You know, especially, you know, the bulls that are trading, you know, overstock and, you know, consistently following it, you know, that aren't aware of what cryptocurrency is, you know, reading the news and finding out that, you know, let's actually, you know, I'm going to change this up a little bit. I haven't looked at the stock market in, man, I don't remember how long. I've not researched anything in the market, but yeah, let's take a look at overstock real quick. Yeah, this market's pretty high. 23,400. That pullback is only going to be massive when it happens. If I can find overstock on this, I forget what the ticker symbol is. LTC at 40. That's a great entry, man. That's a great entry. I would buy it at 45 bucks. 45 is still that very strong support. And we're going to take a look at that 45 because it hasn't broken below that 45 in a very extended period of time. I'm going to say probably it's been a month since it touched that $45 level. Oh, man, I forgot how to use Market Watch. I haven't used this in a long time. Oh, they don't give me a spot to put in the ticker symbol. All right, let's try. Even though as much as I hate CNBC, we'll take a look at CNBC. Hoping for 4,000 BTC. That would be nice. That would be nice. I think we're kind of far away from it, to be honest with you. FANG is on fire. Yeah, I stopped following the FANG stocks long time ago. Man, they've completely changed this thing on me. All right, so let's see, overstock. I'm surprised this thing is not over 100 bucks. I'm very surprised. It definitely took off as of July. Definitely. So as long as the ICO goes well, like I said, there could be a lot of people who are going to be investing in the actual overstock, as well as the ICO. But I mean, only time will tell. But yeah, this price movement, it's pretty massive. I mean, as of July 20th, it was sitting right at $16.20. So massive move for it. And that's great news. It really is great news for the cryptocurrency market. And hopefully that'll, get a little bit more mass adoption, bring people that are traditionally in the stock market that were kind of leery about, cryptocurrency. Maybe that'll, they'll gravitate to cryptocurrency. But time will tell. But yeah, let me get out of the stock market because I hate following it. Ponzi scam. All right, where's that 45 bucks? Let's see. 45 bucks. Yeah, so $40 is going to be, in my honest opinion, wishful thinking for it to get to that level. You'd have to be very patient, and it's going to take a long time unless something crazy happens within the market. It's going to take a long time for it to get to that $40 level. And really, what has happened at that $40 level? Not much at all. So really, I see the strong support at $45, and that's really, of course, after having that crazy run up, crashed at 33.56. made it back up a little bit, retraced. It retraced exactly to that $45. And that's the entry that I was looking for. And I had an order in the book, but I was not first in, first out. So mine never got executed. But if we also look at, you know, what's happening here on the left-hand side, there's a lot of consolidation that happened within that $45 range. So for it to really, you know, heavily drop below 45, it might be wishful thinking. But if it does, because there's a lot of, you know, FUD that's being spread, that fear, uncertainty, and doubt, you know, that low that it touched was $41.65. That was really the low. So I would have to say, you know, if she does break through that 45, which she's probably going to have a hard time breaking through it, then, you know, your entry would be somewhere between the ranges of $45 to $41, or just, let's just say $42 to be on the safe side, because more than likely it's not going to touch that low that it got to. You know, I think everyone and their mother would be looking to buy it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it'd be great if it did, to be honest with you. It'd be great, because then it would definitely give a lot of us the opportunity to buy in cheap. Amazon's next. Dude, Amazon is, they want to take over. They want to take over, you know. It's really, you know, of course, you know, the FANG, you know, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, you know, those are the ones that are going to take over, especially with Amazon and Netflix. I mean, Amazon is basically in everybody's home. I mean, I can have Alexa, you know, order me goods if I want it to. I don't use it for that. My kids mainly use Alexa to kind of have a conversation with her and find out, you know, what the weight of Earth is. So if you guys have Alexa, ask her how much Earth weighs, and she'll ramble on for about a minute. It's crazy. It's funny. But yeah, still, you know, LTC just hasn't given us that direction yet, what move she wants to make. You know, so we'll see exactly as time goes on whether she's going to continue to trend within its channel, or within her channel, because I always refer to cryptocurrencies as she, whether she's going to continue to trend within that channel, or she's going to break out of that channel. And if she breaks out above that channel, she has to maintain that channel. That's probably one of the biggest things to having a sustained move to the upside. If they're not able to maintain a specific price action move, then it's going to break down and it's going to retest, you know, those levels that she started out from. So the biggest thing is, if she does have a crazy run and she breaks out, she's got to maintain that $57 and maintain above it and consolidate. So either she's got to consolidate above it, or just completely break out of it with a vengeance. But right now, you know, she's downtrending. She's definitely downtrending, especially on the 15-minute chart. You know, basically going from 56.15 down to 54.86. Yeah, you know, if Amazon accepts any cryptocurrency, you know, it doesn't even have to be Bitcoin. You know, I think it'll do wonders for, you know, for Litecoin, Ethereum, and I don't see why they don't, to be honest with you. You know, I think they're losing a large market share, because I would rather use cryptocurrency, you know, instead of using US dollar. Davey, you know, all you can do is really, you know, plot out the support and resistance. So, I mean, if you really go off, you know, what I plotted out, you know, I mean, those are key levels to buy, and not buying it at this level. You know, if anybody that bought it at 55, you know, they're down a little bit now. So, you know, as time goes on, they might panic a little bit as it's dropping. But, you know, I would feel comfortable buying a little bit at 53.75, just buying a little bit, see what it does. And if it maintains that level and heads up, that's great. You know, I got my feet wet. I got a little bit of an entry. And if she breaks those levels, then you still have a little bit more capital to add to that position. You know, averaging down. And I always talk about averaging down, but you want to average down on a solid cryptocurrency. You know, none of these crap coins. Don't average down on a crap coin, to be honest with you. Either you're going to hold that crap coin, or you're going to cut your loss. You know, just hit it and run, and don't look back. Any comment about Warren Buffett eating waffles about crypto bubble in Omaha? You know, I have not heard him talk about cryptocurrency at all in a long time. I know he's not a fan of Bitcoin, and this is years and years ago, you know, when Bitcoin, you know, didn't have that mass adoption. But he also wasn't a fan of Facebook. You know, he was adamant about not investing in Facebook, and look what Facebook has done. But yeah, I mean, if Warren Buffett was to, you know, dump some, you know, some of his, like, let's just say, you know, 1/10 of a percent or 100th of a percent of his net worth. I mean, imagine the amount of money that is and what that could do to the market. And just, the idea of Warren Buffett being interested in cryptocurrency. He doesn't even have to buy into it. He just has to say something good. This market would go crazy. It really would go crazy. Daniel, there you are. Strong hands. There you are, buddy. And Daniel, I have to apologize because I didn't cover Doge for you on the last live stream, and I felt bad after I got off the live stream. I was like, oh man, I remember he asked about this, and I said I would cover it or at least take a look at it. So let's go ahead and do that for you right now because I did mention that in the beginning of this video that if you hopped on, I'll take a look at Doge. Let's see. We'll look at Poloniex, considering it almost has $200 million or 200 million in volume. But yeah, is it a good time to buy Ponzi, dope, and BitConnect? I don't think so. At least not for me. Definitely not for me. Oh, this thing is ugly. There's nothing to chart out on this thing. This thing sucks. I'm sorry. Maybe let me take a look at the USD pair. That's a good one, Crypto Cutter. Amazon reminds you of the movie Demolition Man. Yeah, dude, they're taking over. They're taking over. It's scary. I mean, I remember Amazon, dude, being like $100, and I was like, $100? I'm like, I'm not buying this thing. And yeah, little did we know. Same thing with Google. Same thing with Apple, dude. I remember Apple, when I worked in the wireless industry, and they were just coming out with the iPhone. It was dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. And I should have bought it. Where's Doge? Okay. Spectra. I haven't done my research. I got an email from them asking me to do a review. And I didn't respond to their email. But yeah, they asked me to take a look at it and see if I wanted to do a review on Spectra. And I was like, nah, probably not. But maybe I should research it. Maybe I should. Oh man, this thing is ugly. This thing has been ugly for an extended period of time, Daniel. Very ugly. At least it's consolidating, though. At least it's consolidating and not breaking down to one Satoshi. And we're looking at the USD pair on this. But yeah, it'd be nice if this thing got up to a penny. That would be nice. Definitely got manipulated, though. I mean, this was a complete manipulation to the upside. Completely manipulated. I remember somebody wrote an article on how they manipulated the price and what they did to get the price to go up. And I was just like, man. And I mean, they did a good job at it. They did a good job. But yeah, I don't know what Doge is going to do, to be honest with you. This thing is just, it's not a healthy price action movement. But it could easily be manipulated again to the upside. And if it does get manipulated again, where it doesn't really have the fundamentals, and I don't think Doge has the fundamentals at all to really do anything except for, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't have any use now whatsoever. At least in my eyes, it doesn't. But yeah, if this thing does get manipulated again to the upside, there's a possibility that it could retest, key levels, maybe the 0.002, depending, where a lot of the consolidation happened, where it broke down from. But currently, right now, it is consolidating. It's consolidating at a bad level, of course. But at least you're not continuously breaking down and just going down and really getting down to levels that, Doge has never seen before. But, I mean, this could be a time where, somebody, a big whale out there is just stacking up, continuously stacking, but not drawing that alarm where somebody is stacking it up. So, we'll see as time goes on if there is a whale out there that's just continuously buying little increments here and there and really accumulating a good amount before they decide that, what, it's time to pump this thing. Let's go ahead and push it up to the upside. And if they do push it up to the upside, it's going to have key levels that they're going to want it to maintain, because I'm sure they want it to break out and completely break out and maybe hit, a new 52-week high. But I'm sure, as time goes on, if they do pump this thing, they're going to be looking to take profits at key levels. And those are basically the key levels that they're probably going to be looking to take profit. Or if anybody bought it here and that's not a whale, I mean, having a good 100% mover or 60% increase in the price action, I mean, those are significant profits. This isn't something I would hold long term, even though my son is unfortunately holding this long term. He's gonna probably, I don't know. He hasn't really been asking me about it, but if the ship sinks, he's gonna sink with it. Unfortunately, until I think one day he'll be like, okay, it's time to sell it. Let's buy something else, and I'll sell it for him. If he wants to sell it at a loss, he'll sell it at a loss, and not look back, and just kind of wash your hands and walk away from it and never look back. But it is playing within a certain range right now, and this range could be somewhat healthy, because it could indicate that somebody is stacking, somebody's accumulating, and the longer that it does consolidate in this range, somebody's holding it up to not crash as they're accumulating Doge, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, she does have key levels that she has to break out: 0.0012, 0.0016, and then 0.002. But yeah, that's enough of Doge. I don't really like covering this. But yeah, Daniel, dude, I think you're on here all the time, man, and you usually have me laughing. So I think that earns you mod status, buddy. You definitely deserve to be mod. So there you go. You're officially a mod on CryptoTraders Room. You just got to hold down the fort, though. Hold down the fort. Let's see. What was the other thing I was going to cover? Let's cover Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold. That like button is asking for a major pounding. Yeah, pound that like button. Just pound it. Mohammed, welcome, buddy. Peter, great to see a new name on here. Welcome. ICO today, I don't know. I don't really follow too many ICOs. So, maybe if you know of a good ICO, something that's solid, I might take a look at it. Not on a live stream, but, if I have the time, I'll take a look at it. And if I think it's solid, I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it. I've only really covered one ICO, and I think I'll only continue to cover one ICO unless there is something that piques my interest. Tony, you made it, man. Yes, you made it, buddy. Oh, this thing did come down. I didn't even see this thing. Came down to 99 bucks. So broke below that 100, but didn't break below what I plotted out last Wednesday of 95 bucks. And if she does break that 95 bucks, 85 is another key level that she has to break. I mean, I would buy this thing, to be honest with you, but I'm going to buy it, at a level where I'm comfortable, and that's going to be 55.50. That's a level I'm comfortable buying it. At least then I'm going to be patient and wait for it. So then if she does crack to 40 or 45, I'm not going to kick myself. Whereas if I buy it here in 100 and she does retest that key level of resistance, or key level of support, and that key level of support, of course, is the bare bottom at 56, then I would be definitely kicking myself because I would be down 50%. But yeah, there's a possibility that this thing could crack through that $95, crack through the 85. And if she does, really, there's nothing stopping it. As long as selling intensifies, there's nothing that's going to stop it until she gets down to 56, somewhere in that range. That's where I would be comfortable buying this thing. Anywhere else, definitely not. I would not touch this thing whatsoever. Yeah, Daniel, don't ban the mods. Don't ban the mods. Will, what is up, buddy? What is up? And yeah, just to let everybody know too, there's going to be a little bit of change in the schedule for next week. So next Wednesday, I will not be doing a live stream. We'll get back to our kind of regular. I'll do a live stream on Monday. Wednesday, there will not be a live stream. And then Friday, we'll get back again to doing a live stream. I'm actually going to be at the Blockchain Economic Forum in New York City. So if any of you guys are from New York City, or you're going to be at the Blockchain Economic Forum And that's basically from October 31st to November 1st. So those 2 days. So I'll be actually in New York City on October 30th, probably get there like 6 p.m., something in that range. So if you guys are in New York City and you want to meet up, let me know. And since I'll be there at 6 p.m., we can definitely meet up, grab a drink or so. And then I'll be at the Blockchain Economic Conference probably all day, to be honest with you. And then on November 1st, right after the conference, maybe, I won't stay for the whole conference. I'll be heading back, doing my long 4-hour drive back. But yeah, considering I don't live too far away, it's actually going to be my first time in New York City. And a lot of people are like, really? You've never been in New York City? Never been in New York City. Been to JFK to fly out of there to Germany, to fly to, overseas. But that was it. Never really had the need to go to New York City at all. Since I grew up in Philly, I'm like, a city's a city. I grew up in Philly. I got to see it. Yeah, I like that the whole chat box is mods. I like it, because then you guys can hold it down pretty well. But yeah, let's take a look at this real quick, get a little granular, maybe 15 minutes, and see how that consolidation is doing. But yeah, I know Rec Real and I are going to be meeting up, grabbing a drink. And then, I don't know, I might be there is something in the book for me to do a AMA, Ask Me Anything, with Daniel, who's the CEO and founder of Crypto20. He's actually going to be there. So we're probably going to end up doing some sort of live stream AMA. And it was his idea. It wasn't my idea at all. So I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, you're giving me free tickets to attend this event. Why not? We'll definitely do an AMA. All right, so what is the range? What is this thing doing? And I always like to look at the channel, within a very specific day, how is this thing channeling? And if I'm going to intraday trade this thing, then at least I know exactly what that range is, what that trend is, to an extent. Of course, it's always to an extent. And then I can kind of, plot out my entry and my exit, and I'm going to try to exit at the bottom of that trend. I'm sorry, I'm going to enter at the bottom of that trend, and I'm going to exit at the top of that trend and be happy with the profits, even though it might, go up and break that trend. I want to try to enlarge this, but I can't. So that trend for the last couple of days, let's go ahead and plot out some lines here. Somewhat of a realistic trend, realistic trend here. That's really the trend from 104 to 125. Basically, let's just say 105 to 125, a difference of $20. So if she does play within that trend, of course, now she has broken that trend. So that's why you would never really go all in. You always want to have capital on the side. And I've always said that in the past on some of the videos. You always want to have a little bit of capital, a little bit of USD on the side to be able to either average down or to be able to buy something else. You never want to go all in at a very key specific level, because they could easily crash through those levels. And then this is one example that, she has crashed through that level, but she hasn't come back up. Whereas in the past here, she did crash through that level and got to $100.50, but she came right back up. And these are 15-minute price action movement. So each candlestick, if you're new to this, each candlestick represents 15 minutes worth of price action, which is really the battle between the bears and the bulls fighting it out for price action movement. So either the bears are going to take control and head this thing up, or the bears are going to, bring it down, or the bulls are going to, buy it up and send this thing up. But realistically, the trend is really 104 to 125. Unless this thing can get back up to that 104, it's bearish. It's short-term bearish price action. And then you really got to look at your other areas of support to see, okay, you know what? It broke through the first area of support. What is the possibility of it getting to the second area of support? And I would have to say the probabilities are very high currently right now, considering she hasn't made it right back up to 104.50 or 105. So considering she didn't make it back up, the possibilities of it getting to that 95 are very likely, very likely. So I don't know if you guys are in this or looking to take a position in this. This isn't something I would hold long-term at all. This is something I would just scalp, take a position, get out with a profit, and then maybe wait for a retracement if I'm interested in it, or just kind of hit it and move on to something else. But yeah, unless this thing gets above 105, like I said, short-term bearish. So that's Bitcoin Gold. And then BCH we'll take a look at. And then if there's any cryptocurrencies that you guys want me to take a look at, since there will be plenty of time left on this live stream, I will gladly take a look at those. Will ETH Euro explode with Catalina's independence? I don't know. That's a good question, Enrique. Welcome, by the way. That's a very good question. Only time will tell. Maybe BTC will explode. You know, maybe not necessarily ETH. Maybe BTC will. Crisis in Europe. Definitely, man. Crisis everywhere. Everywhere. Rec Real. Dude, I hate KFC. Oh, I shouldn't say I hate it. I used to love KFC, man. But, you know, the chicken breast is not chicken breast. It's genetically enhanced. And, yeah. Maybe if Daniel wants to go out and get KFC, we'll go get KFC. But more likely, you know, he's going to want to go eat somewhere where it's a good place to eat. Too funny, buddy. Too funny, man. Let's see. I'm just getting your message now, bud. But no, live stream is still going, at least from what I can tell. If anybody's having an issue with the live stream, let me know. You might have to hit refresh, to be honest with you. Might have to hit refresh. Arcs Dark, welcome, buddy. If you're heading out, thank you for stopping by, bud. Tony, welcome. Great to see a new name on here. Do I plan on having my own coin? I don't think so, bud. I don't think so. Yeah, somebody asked me about that. One of my buddies who I never knew they were in cryptocurrency, and they were actually mining Doge long time ago, and they came up to visit. And he's like, dude, we should start our own cryptocurrency, and we can pump it and dump it. And I was like, I started laughing. I was like, yeah, dude, that's not me. That's not me. You know, I'm not going to mislead anybody at all. But yeah, no, I mean, it would be a good idea, you know, just to create one, just to kind of give it out. And if people want to trade it and get the price to go up, that's completely on them. But I would never manipulate it at all. Yeah, I don't know what happened with okay, actually I never looked at Bitcoin Cash. I thought I did. But yeah, let's go ahead and plot out some stuff and see exactly what this thing might do. And then we'll have to get a little granular on this once we, you know, kind of separate the days to figure out, you know, how did it channel within those very specific days. All right, I think that's good enough. So bottom of, well, not the bottom, but recent bottom, 297. That was a recent bottom. I don't think we had another bottom for an extended period of time. So really that 300, 297 is going to be a key level. That if she does come down, you know, that's a key level that she must maintain and get back up. And that's really an entry that I would be looking for. So if we really scroll across or scroll back and look at kind of the history, you know, there weren't really too many times that she completely broke down below it and maintained that break. You know, she came right back up. She came right back up, which is pretty healthy. All right. So, you know, 300 key support level, a level that she must maintain if she does decide to break down. And I think that's a level that a lot of traders will probably support it. You know, if you think like any trader does, you know, they will, if they're patient with it, that's a level that they would kind of wait for to see if it's going to maintain that healthy level. But yeah, this is a nice trend. I do like this trend. I like this up and down swings that it's having because it's really providing some great opportunities for entries. So 320 is going to be another area of level. So if she does break 320, then the other area of support is going to be the $300. But prior resistance can always become current support. So as we can see right over here, this was a prior resistance. That was a prior resistance there. So I had a hard time. It broke out a little bit, went outside of that line, played for a little bit outside of it, not too long, but came right back down. So we know that is somewhat of a strong resistance, considering twice it had a hard time. Right over here, it couldn't get up. It broke down, but it didn't break down too far. Only really broke down at, let's just say 325 from 335. But when she broke out above that 335, she broke out of it pretty well, but she didn't maintain it. She came back down and consolidated underneath it. And then basically, I mean, that's almost like getting a nice running start. But yeah, it's tough to say what this is going to do unless, she touches this resistance again, or prior resistance becoming current support. If she touches it and then consolidates and heads up, then we know, okay, you know what? That is a strong support for it. She failed to break through it. And as we can see, our 100-day moving average is kind of sitting right above that at 337. So that is a level that some traders could look for and say, you know what? That's a level that I'm willing to support it at if it gets to that 100-day moving average. And if it breaks the 100-day moving average, there's a possibility that 200-day moving average can be a key support. But I would say that 319, 320 is going to be that area of support that I would be patient with and maybe get a little bit of an entry if I was looking at getting into Bitcoin Cash. And if she breaks through that level, then yeah, $300 is where I would add to it. And maybe, have a lower cost average of 310 instead of 320. But nothing impressive with this at the current moment. Nothing impressive. So if you're looking to play this on an intraday looks like, high of 373 and basically a low of, was that the 336? And a low of 336. So that's really the trend that she could play, unless she decides to completely break down. And having that 100-day moving average sitting at that 336 will also confirm that, that could be a good area of support for it. So traders will look at that and say, okay, you know what? A couple of times she had a hard time breaking out above that 336. Prior resistance becomes current support, but then our 100-day moving average is also sitting at that key level. So the probabilities of that being a better support is very likely, very likely. And considering, when she came down, she didn't really break down too much. Right over here, she hit a high of 351 and came down to 331. So a difference of $20. If this was extremely bearish, she would have come down and retested possibly the 200-day moving average and got down to 325. But, she maintained just a little below it. So from 336 to 331, a $5 difference, consolidated in that range before really getting a nice running start. And then once this candle formed and it maintained it, then it's somewhat healthy. It's a healthy move. It didn't just get to it and consolidate more and break down. So that's kind of the area that I would be looking at on Bitcoin Cash. But I think a lot of people are interested probably in Bitcoin, especially if they're looking to get an entry and hold it until that fork happens. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. And I'll try to answer these questions as best as I can. It looks like BTC is headed back to 5,800. We'll get that chart up and running. You see Crypto20 as a great arbitrage coin. If someone sells too low. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think, if they're smart about it, they're not going to sell low. They're not, because it has a NAV price. It has a net asset value. So, if you're a non-US citizen or Cayman Island or South African and you actually do buy, Crypto20, and let's just say on an exchange, it drops below the NAV, Nobody in their right mind is going to sell it because they can just sell it right on Crypto20's portal for a higher price. So I don't really see Crypto20 selling for less than the actual NAV value of the underlying cryptocurrency, which is the top 20 basically. So yeah, the arbitrage thing for that is going to go out the window. And actually, even to do an analysis on Crypto20 is going to be one of the hardest things. I'll look at it, but it's probably going to be very hard to do an analysis on it, especially on the technical side, because you got 20 cryptocurrencies, that are determining what the actual price of Crypto20 is. So of course, on an exchange, it's definitely going to be selling higher. And if it does go lower, it's because somebody fat fingered it and hit the wrong button, or put in the wrong decimal points, whatever it might be. But I don't see it dropping below. And if it does drop below the NAV price, I think everybody and their mother is going to try to buy it, to be honest with you. But yeah, no arbitrage on Crypto20. Seems like BTC forks are losing potency for right now. I mean, we're not close to that fork yet, but I think as time goes on and we get closer to that fork, just like with Bitcoin Gold, I mean, it sent it up pretty high, sent it up to $6,200. So as we get close to it, and I mean, there could be whales that are looking to keep this down so that they could actually accumulate more. Great people can launch RSK. I don't know if I would launch RSK though. Chris, welcome, buddy. Yeah. Oh, KFC, the dirty bird. Let's see. When your daughter had her first bite she proclaimed it was the best thing she's ever eaten. By the time we were finished, she said, "Never eat here again." Yeah. It's like, I love Burger King. I do, because, usually when I'm hungry, I'll go there and eat. But after I eat it, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, why did I come here to eat? And I'd say the same exact thing. Never again. Yeah. Their chicken is genetically modified. It's not even real chicken breast. Cutter coin coming to a shit coin near you. I think, we could probably all make our own cryptocurrency, and maybe start dishing it out. And I think you can do that through Ether Party, create your own smart contract as well as create your own coin, and then do whatever you want to do with it. Maybe I'll create like a trillion. I don't even know what I would name it, to be honest with you. Metronomo or Nomi, Metronomy. I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. And welcome, by the way, Polio, welcome. First time I'm seeing your name. I don't know who Jeff Gratz is, or Garzik. Jeff Garzik. I've never heard of that name. Let me write down his name. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research. Have I looked into his track record? Yeah, if you want to clarify that, Daniel, I'm not sure what you meant by, or who you're referring to on the track record. The Warp Lord, welcome, buddy. Welcome. It is Friday market. Nothing exciting, really, to be honest with you. We're not getting a nice push to the upside. We're not getting a bloodbath Friday to where they would provide great opportunities for an entry. But, I'm still going to be patient. I'm still going to be patient and see, what, is she going to get down to the 5,400 or is she going to get down to the 5,450? And how is she going to maintain that 5,450? As long as she can consolidate in that range, then it's a healthy entry. It's a good entry, just for a little bit of a position. But if she just breaks through it and doesn't get back up, then we know that, what, maybe 5,000 is the level to kind of look for. Yeah, and I did read something about Coinbase as well too. If you guys are using Coinbase, with possibly changing, 2x, the name for 2x to BTC. So I mean, I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, why would they do that? Like, they're really literally trying to hijack the BTC name, the Bitcoin name. They're literally trying to hijack it. And I was like, BTC already exists. Like, you can't call something else that's forked from the original You can't call that BTC. It's got to be something else. I mean, so I was dumbfounded when I read that from Coinbase, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? They're really going to attempt to change the name of this fork coin that's coming out to BTC and just cause complete confusion?" Because anybody new coming onto this market, if they do that, they're not going to know what the real BTC is. And I think, the community should raise hell in that regards. There's no way that a fork coin should be called BTC whatsoever. BTC is BTC. Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and that name needs to stick with the original Bitcoin. But yeah, for them to change it, it's complete manipulation. It's really what it is. Yeah, Daniel, I agree about Charlie Lee. I completely agree. He's probably one of the only, trustworthy person in this crypto space. Somebody that runs, a cryptocurrency. He's the only one, and he can give to SHIT about what people think. And that's why I have a lot of respect for Charlie Lee. I really do. Especially when he said, I'm not going to pump my coin just because you guys want me to pump it. And I was just like, yeah, there you go, Charlie Lee. You let him have it. And considering he got so much crap from the community when he said that, China was going to ban ICOs. And he was right. But he got hell for it. No, I've not covered OMG. Let's go ahead and take a look at OMG since we got time. We got time. Time is on my side today. And I think I covered it last time, and hopefully everything I plotted out is still there in regards to, how's it trending within that channel on a daily basis. Oh, that's not a bad run from 738 to almost a little over $8. That's not bad, but it could maintain it. It could not maintain it whatsoever. I need to get a little granular and see what happened here between the fight between the Bears and the Bulls to cause that to really retrace from that level. I gotta look at the 15 minutes. So 810 was a high. There we go. Yeah. So let's see, 810. A little bit of a fighting between the Bears and the Bulls. Were completely, well, not completely, but it did move sideways. Waiting for direction. And of course, the Bears ended up winning that battle, moved it down. So that was a strong resistance, considering the Bears overtook it and brought it down. So if you had bought this and you were patient with it and you got in, let's say 740, you should have looked at locking in some of the profit in that range of 810, because that's really where it decided to turn down from, and the Bears completely took control of it, and the Bulls failed to maintain that upward trend. So yeah, that's an ugly retracement, completely ugly retracement. So if she does break the 760, and the 760 was plotted out a while back, and let's see, how does she break out? I mean, the breakout wasn't too bad. She just broke out. It wasn't a confirmed breakout, but she maintained that breakout. But she didn't break out of it with a vengeance. But she bounced right back from that 760. And this was stuff that I plotted out, I don't know, last Wednesday. So she had a nice little bounce from it, but that could be a dead cat bounce. And it seems like as the price is dropping currently right now to 762, it's a dead cat bounce from 760 to 771. Not much of a price action move, 10 cents. But if you're scalping this thing, within 15-minute candlestick or a half an hour candlestick, and you have a very sizable position, 10 cents isn't bad. If you have a very small position, then yeah, there's no sense of scalping, on a very short time frame if you don't have a very sizable position. But yeah, you would need at least good $17,000-$20,000 to have a nice little profit, and that profit wouldn't be too much. It'd be like $200. But if you could do that continuously, You know, it can add up in the long run. So we'll see, you know, as I'm going off through some of the comments that you guys are leaving to see exactly how is this going to handle that 761. She did bounce from it, but that bounce wasn't strong. So right now it looks like, you know, she's going to break through it. It looks like she's going to completely break through it. So if she does break through it, let's see, what is another level? $743. 743 seems to be where it could have a nice little maybe dead cat bounce from it again. But if she breaks that, I mean, she's going to easily retest, you know, the $7, maybe 691 again. 691 is a healthy area for it to bounce from, considering let me make sure from what I remember last Wednesday, she bounced from that twice. Yes, she did. So I had these are all plotted out from last Wednesday. So 691 right on the left hand side, she bounced from it. 691 here on the 21st. So let's see what the date on this was. October 9th hit 691, and then October 21st hits 691. So if you're looking to get in this, that might be the area to kind of be patient for. You know, especially if she touches 7. If she touches 7, she could easily get to that level. But, you know, really, we don't know, to be honest with you. All we can do is kind of look at the probabilities. But if sell intensifies, she could easily break through that 691 and retest out other levels of support. Let's see what that other level of support is. $650. So bare bottom is going to be $6. Bare bottom. You know, if you really go back to August, that's going to be a key level that she has to maintain. And if she can't maintain it, because BTC is dumping and ALTS are dumping with it. But yeah, 650. But, you know, she will have that somewhat of a support at 691. Now, if she bounces from 691 and heads up, then, you know, that's 3 times that she bounced from that key level. So the probabilities of it, if that being a strong support, are very likely. But yeah, let's get a little granular and kind of take a look at this as time goes on. And I'll try to talk to you guys on the chat. So she held up so far. So far, she held up at 760. Not sure if it's worth it. Yeah, at this level, no. I would completely agree with you. Definitely not. 650, yes. Because then, you know, there's a possibility that it could make it back up to 750, $1 profit. And as long as you lock in those profits, I mean, that's money in the bank or money in the exchange for you to utilize for something else. Yeah, but yeah, OMG has really been a disappointment. It really has. I mean, some really nice swings. I mean, swinging down from 1370 all the way to 650. Coming back up to 1140, swinging down to 760, swinging up to 1156. I mean, you know, from let's just say 750 to 1150. I mean, that's pretty significant. It's very significant, and we're looking at a 12-hour price action movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, within a week, you know, you're up $4 per coin. But yeah, she just hasn't been able to maintain a key level of support or maintaining a key level of resistance and just not breaking down completely. But yeah, she gets a nice run and she breaks down. So, I mean, that's why you really don't have that emotional attachment and be like, you know what, man, I'm up $4 per coin. I'm up $3 per coin. I got a nice sizable position of 100 coins. I just made $300. I just made $400. Be happy with those profits. Lock them in, because she can and she will turn against you. But yeah, this has been kind of just a huge disappointment. Huge disappointment. But yeah, you know what? If I was to get in this, you know, that 650, $6, that's really where the support would be for it. You know, I think she would have a hard time breaking below 6. And, you know, when I say 6, it might not even get to 6. It might be like 610, 605, 611, before then having a nice little, you know, correction to the upside or consolidating. But yeah, we're going to look at this probably on the 3-minute chart. And see if she maintains that 760 or is she going to break through it. As of right now, that 760 is holding pretty strong. Yeah, I would say Charlie Lee is trustworthy. And if you guys disagree with me, let me know. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong by disagreeing with me. I think he's the only trustworthy guy in this cryptocurrency industry. Yeah, but it's a solid investment, but don't expect those big gains at all. And I think a lot of people kind of get discouraged that it doesn't move up like crazy. You know, it'll have a nice move, but you got to learn to take profits and then buy back in on the dip. Like that's something you have to learn how to do. You know, even though as much as I love LTC, I have no issues dumping it. No issues selling it whatsoever. Locking in those profits and then waiting to buy back in. And I've done that many times with a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I see him as being very honest. And if you really watch, you know, a lot of his interviews, I mean, he is probably the most honest person. That makes you not to want to use Coinbase. Maybe that's why he left Coinbase. You know, he realized Coinbase is shady stuff that they were doing. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people that are just not happy with Coinbase at all. And then you got new people signing up because it's easy to sign up. It's easy to link the account. And as time goes on, I think they'll realize, man, Coinbase is shady. I'm going to go ahead and find a different platform. So as they're gaining customers, they're losing customers. But yeah, I mean, anybody that's new getting into this cryptocurrency market, more than likely, they're going to start a Coinbase account. That's what they're going to do. It's easy to get fiat. And then once they master, you know, trading and they don't get really taken advantage of and they don't lose their money, you know, as time goes on, then they're going to be looking for a different platform. Because really the platform does suck. I mean, their charting is horrendous. Like you can't chart on GDAX whatsoever. You can't. But yeah, I don't use Coinbase anymore. Not at all. After my my rant on them, I refuse to use them. I refuse to support them. But I mean, I am only going to use them for one thing and one thing only, and that's it. And that's to get fiat to my bank account if I ever need it. So, and because I thought about closing that account, but I was like, hold on a second. If I close that account and I need fiat into my bank account for some apparent reason, because I have a crazy emergency that might happen, I was like, how am I going to get fiat into my bank account? I was like, I can't. I was like, all right, well, I got to keep that account open, but not utilize them to trade. But if I need fiat, I'll move, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin to it. I'll sell it right away. And then instantly I'll move that money to my bank account. So I'm going to use them just like they use everybody else. Yeah, BTC would be great on the dip. 5,000, dude, I would jump all over it. I would jump all over it. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, guys, just do your research on any ICO, any ICO. I don't know much. I don't know anything about Metro. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So definitely do your research. You know, and don't fall in love with it. You know, I mean, if it goes up, you know, 5x, 10x, you know, take those profits. And if you still really like it, wait for a dip because it is going to dip. It is going to dip. You know, nothing goes up and just keep going up and keep going up. It is going to have a dip. And then you can buy back in with the profit as well as the capital. DEFCON 3 is next week. Where's that at, Tony? When I say lock in profit, am I trading into BTC, ETH, or to USDT? I never trade into USDT. USDT is a scam. But no, I trade to USD when I say lock in the profit. And a lot of people actually, you know, it's a great point that you brought up. And I've talked about this in the past. A lot of people do like trading, you know, from alt to alt to alt, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. I was never a fan of going, you know, let's just say from, you know, BTC to LTC, or, you know, F to BTC, you know, just going from, you know, one cryptocurrency to another cryptocurrency. I was never a fan of it. And that was due to the fact that there's a possibility I could be giving up my profit. You know, let's just say I had BTC and, you know, I bought, you know, one BTC at, let's just say, you know, $1,000, and I sold at the top $6,000. You know, that's a $5,000 profit. If I go into another alt and that alt decides to go down, let's just say I went into ETH at $400 and ETH drops, I'm giving up majority of my profit. So that's why I personally don't like trading, you know, from one cryptocurrency to another. I would rather trade from, you know, BTC, ETH, or cryptocurrency to USD, because I know that if I don't place another trade, that when I pass out and wake up the next morning, that USD is going to be worth what that USD is when I went to bed. You know, the value of it is not going to go down. But there's nothing wrong from, you know, with trading from, you know, one cryptocurrency to another. It's just, you know, my personal preference is, you know, for me to protect the profit is to go to USD. But a lot of people hate going to USD. They do. Yeah, if OMG goes below 7, I mean, I don't really have the platform to buy it right now, but I would heavily look at it, and I wouldn't go all in at 7, but it would definitely pique that interest. But then at $6, was it 6? Let's see. I think it was $6. That's when I would personally go all in. Is that $6? Yeah, $6, 6.10, somewhere in that range. Then I would throw everything that I had at it. But I would have no issues dumping it either. You know, if I am up on a sizable, because I mean, if I go all in, you know, I'm going all in with a very sizable position. At $6, it gets up to 8, it gets up to 9. That's a 50% profit at $9. And I'd be happy to dump it at $9, to be honest with you. I would not hold it. Even at $8, I would dump it. That's a 33.3% profit. So, you know, just don't have that emotional attachment. But at $7, yes, it would definitely pique an interest, and I would watch it like a hawk, and I would have an order in the book to buy it at $6 or 6.11, somewhere in that range. More than likely, it's not going to get to exactly 6. It'll probably get to like 6.11 and then bounce up. Still holding that 760. So let's look at a 1-minute chart on this. Now, I mean, now we're really getting very, very granular on this. But yeah, sitting right at that 760. And if selling intensifies, you know, if we get more red, if this candlestick stays red. All right, so we had a nice little gap between the closing price of the previous candle of $7.60 and the opening price of the current candle being $7.60, almost 60.5 cents, something to that extent. So it did gap up just a little bit, but not enough of a gap to say, okay, you know what, this is going to be bullish. Not at all. Daniel, I will definitely join that group, buddy. 100% I'll join it. But no, guys, don't join any pump and dump groups. And Daniel just being sarcastic. You'll give them advice after you, and that's usually what happens. So let's kind of talk about this real quick. And I'm glad you mentioned this, Daniel. You know, how pump and dumps work. And I'm sure some of you might know. If you're a new time viewer, you might not know, to be honest with you. Because I didn't know when I first started trading how pump and dump groups really worked. I was like, oh, nice. I can join this group and I can actually make money. No. It's not the way it works. You know, they're making the money. You're giving it to them. You're just a sheep that's feeding into their, you know, in their pocket. So the way it works is basically, you know, say, all right, hey, join our pump and dump group. We're going to be, we'll notify you when we're going to be pumping a coin and what exchange at what time, blah, 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 blah. Right. So you join their group, they're hyping things up. But they're not going to release what coin they're pumping yet. What they're doing is for weeks and weeks is that they're accumulating. You're not going to know, what exchange they're going to be pumping on, what cryptocurrency they're going to be pumping on. More than likely, a lot of it happens on like, Yobit, Bittrex, where you have these coins that have just been flatlined for a very long period of time. But during that stage of it being flatlined, they're actually accumulating and buying, but they're not buying a lot because they don't want to draw that suspicion that, oh, somebody's accumulating this thing and they just happen to buy a little bit more and got the volume to go up for that specific date. Volume is going to stay very consistent for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And within those weeks, they're going to accumulate a good amount of that coin, whatever that shit coin really is. Then they'll say, all right, guys, we're ready to release the coin, what we're going to be pumping. But they make it seem as though they haven't been accumulating, that they're really in the same boat as you are. But they're going to say, what, this is something that you should be buying, once we release it, just buy at any price. So, they'll say, hey, what, we're going to go ahead and at 11 a.m., we're going to announce what exchange and what cryptocurrency we're going to be pumping. And if you really look at Bittrex, and you're part of a pump and dump group, you can kind of have an idea of what coin they're pumping because it's already being pumped, because they've already released that to their paid members. You're not a paid member, so they're not going to release that to you. They've already released it to the paid members. So the paid members are already in the profit. Now what they're going to do is they're going to release it to the general public. Whether it's going to be through Twitter or, through a special private message, whatever it might be, then you're basically causing the price to go up. Now they've already been accumulating. Their paid members are second in line where they're buying and causing the price to go up. And then more than likely you're third in line to cause the price to go up. But as the price is going up and you're chasing it, they're dumping and they're selling and they're selling and they're selling. And then what they might do is they might put up a huge wall to prevent it from crashing below a certain level, because they still have a lot that they want to unload. And if they unload a lot of it, that's going to cause a huge dip, and they don't want to cause a huge dip. So they'll start selling a little bit at a higher price. As it's going up, start selling, then put up that wall to prevent the price from getting below that price. And people see that, new traders coming onto this market, like, whoa, there's a big buy wall. There's a huge support. It's a fake support, 100%. It's not a real support. And then the price keeps going up and up and up as they're unloading more and more and more and selling. Now, once the price gets really high and they've sold just about everything that they wanted, that they had, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to short it heavily. And they're going to keep shorting as the price is dropping a little bit. And when the price starts to drop, new traders are coming on, or newbies that are in that specific coin, they're going to panic and start selling. And that's going to cause the price to drop and drop and drop. So they're profiting both ways. They profited on the way up, and then they caused that panic on the way down and started shorting it, caused the price to drop a little bit, shorted more, got the price to drop a little bit. As the newbies are like, I got to sell, I got to get out of this, I'm already in the profit a little bit, or somebody ended up buying at the top and it's already dropped 10, 15%. And if they're smart enough, they would hit the sell button right away. Some people will hold on to it and then it bottoms out. And then a couple of weeks later, it's time to pump another coin. So, I mean, they could easily turn, one BTC into 10 to 15 BTCs easily. So you definitely don't want to get caught in these type of pump and dumps, because they do exist. I've gotten emails to join pump and dump groups, and I'm like, what, do you think I was born yesterday? Like, I wasn't born yesterday to fall for this trap. I'm like, come on. You might have gotten people to fall for this, but yeah, I'm like, your email, well, I never responded to them, of course, but I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, they're BSing me. They're trying to fool me. I'm like, I'm giving you my money basically by joining this pump and dump group. The only people that are making money are basically the organizers of the pump and dump, the promoters of the pump and dump, and maybe the paid members. Those are the only ones that are making money, and the paid members are not making much, but they're making a profit. But it's really the organizers that are making the most profit out of it. But yeah, that's normally how pump and dumps work. Davey, you just want to learn who Charlie Lee is. Oh man. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of, videos on him. I would highly recommend listening to him. Davey, thank you for that comment, man. Super thankful for this channel. I appreciate it. That's awesome. And if you guys do find this information helpful, definitely, share this live stream, especially if you know anybody that's looking to get into the cryptocurrency market. If you have a Twitter account, share this with your followers. And we are on Steemit, so, help us out and upvote the video. But yeah, definitely, share the link with anybody that's interested in getting into the cryptocurrency market, and anybody that, has been very discouraged and because they've been taken advantage of. And that's not what Crypto Traders Room is about. We're not here to take advantage of anybody. We're not here to pump a coin. I'm not here to tell you to buy, and sell, 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 sell. Not at all. Mexico. Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember somebody talking about that, Tony. I vaguely remember. It'd be nice to make a trip down to Mexico. But yeah, I don't have the money for that type of trip. If I was single, yeah, definitely, I would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. But yeah, having 3 kids, yeah, that money has to go somewhere else. So if I go down to Mexico, that money has to be taken out from somewhere else. What other options are there aside from Coinbase? Very good question, Davey. I hate to recommend exchanges, but I'm going to start possibly using Binance until they do me wrong. I haven't really heard of them doing too many customers wrong, so I'm going to give them a chance. But yeah, I'm going to be really interested in decentralized exchanges, and hopefully, altcoin.io will be one of them once they get their platform up and running. But yeah, there aren't too many exchanges. I would definitely stay away from, Coinbase, Poloniex. If you want to use Coinbase just to kind of stack up and make some money. But yeah, just don't make that your primary exchange, and don't have all your money on one exchange. Do not do that. Do not do that, because they can easily lock you out. And if they lock you out, you have no way of trading, basically. So you want to kind of spread, your coins or your money out to different exchanges. If you're in the US, don't even bother setting up a Bitfinex account, because as of November 9th, they're completely shutting out US customers. So Poloniex, Bittrex, stay away from them. But yeah, Binance is going to be an exchange that I'm going to be using. But yeah, if you guys know of any other exchanges that are good, definitely feel free to share that with Davey Reed. Yeah, David, a lot of people do the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing. When I bought BTC, it was in March of 2014. So Coinbase was really one of the only viable options for me. Yeah, I set up an account at Mt. Gox, never funded it, thank goodness. Set up an account at Bitstamp, never funded it. Set up an account somewhere else as well too. But yeah, it was just, Coinbase was so easy, to set up an account, to link your bank account, to transfer money, even though it takes a little while to do it. So this thing is maintaining that has maintained that 750 and 760, and has not crashed below it. So that's somewhat of a good sign currently right now for short-term price action. But she's not giving us a more sustained move to the upside. She needs to get up above 770, 775 possibly, and maintain that level and consolidate above that level. So right now, anything could really happen. She could easily crash through it, but she is maintaining that 760 at the current moment. So the developers are supposed to release a roadmap today and some announcement at DevCon 3 for OMG. Definitely not doing anything for the price action then. Definitely not doing anything for the price action. 390 for you. You're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. Bago, welcome, by the way. Welcome. 390, man. That's wishful thinking. That'd be great, because I don't have an entry. And yeah, I would throw everything at it at 390. Let's see what that 390 is. But yeah, it's wishful thinking. You might be waiting for a very long time. And there would have to be a catastrophic event that's happening within the market, like BTC getting hacked. If that happens, which honestly, it's not going to happen. Exchanges are going to be hacked before BTC gets hacked. BTC really can't be hacked. But if it does, and that's really a catastrophic event, it really is. 390, yeah. And I think that's where I have the bare bottom kind of plotted out. There's that line right there at 390. And that was the peak of this, which was basically 389.9, let's just say 390, had a little bit of retracement, and then broke out of that with a vengeance. Went from 335 all the way to 660, within one day, basically 100% increase. So yeah, 390, yeah, if you want to be patient, but yeah, there would have to be a catastrophic event. And it's wishful thinking, honestly. I'm not trying to discourage you with your entry at, waiting for 390. But yeah, in my opinion, it would be wishful thinking for it to get to that level. $6 is the level that I would personally wait for, because $6 is really where a lot of the consolidation happened. A little over $6 basically. But yeah, there's that $6.10, $6.15. So that's really the level that I was looking at. Yes, it did come down to 525, but came right back up. It didn't maintain, the level of 550 or 525 and consolidate in that range. I mean, it came up pretty nice because it basically went from 524 all the way to 750. So let's just say 525 to 750. Those are pretty significant gains, and it maintained that healthy level, throughout the price action move. And we're going back all the way to August 13th. So yeah, for it to crash to that level of 390, like I said, there would have to be a catastrophic event, like US banning all cryptocurrencies. I mean, something crazy, something crazy would have to happen. And if that happens, then yes, 390 could be attainable. Which is current price action now. Not maintaining a healthy level, but let's see if she, on this candlestick, if she breaks through it or she bounces from it and maintains it. But yeah, the longer that she maintains a key level of support, that is actually a good support. So as time goes on, if she just keeps maintaining that 760, and you're looking to scalp this thing, then yeah, 760 would be a position to get into. But, like I said before, if you're scalping, you need a very sizable position, and your hold time should be very short. Your hold time should not be long at all if your intentions were to scalp it, because you have a very sizable position. So if you have a small position, yes, you could afford to hold it for a longer period of time, because if it does drop, you're not going to see the value in USD drop too much. But if you're holding, 3,000 to 4,000 OMG, and you're holding it for too long and it ends up tanking, that's a very significant loss that you're going to be taking. Tony, thank you so much for visiting, bud, or hopping on this live stream. Appreciate it. Have a good day at work, man. Happy Friday. Yes, everyone learn what a hardware wallet is. Yes, I highly recommend get a hardware wallet. Spend the money. I mean, I got one for, well, let's see what the price is now. Let's see if the price dropped. I mean, yeah, get a Ledger Nano S, get a Trezor, get yourself a hardware wallet. Where is it? Where is it? So currently on Amazon, Ledger Nano S is $92. Keep key is 140. Wow. I don't think I would get a keep key. Trezor, $95 for the white one. I got the white one for $83. I think it was like $83.03. So, I mean, if you're interested in getting a hardware wallet, definitely keep an eye out on the price. See if it drops to 83. And if it does, I mean, that's the lowest I saw it. And I jumped on it. And I think they had the Ledger Nano S for $75. So, if you have, $75 or more in cryptocurrency, I highly recommend getting one. It's probably one of the best investments you're going to make, especially if you're holding something long term. Don't hold it on those exchanges. Don't. What's today's date? Today's the 26th 27th. Okay, nothing's happening on the 27th on the calendar. 28th, I don't know if any of you guys are in Red Pulse, but it's to be listed on, never heard of this exchange, KuCoin. I see. The thing is, I don't know if I would trust a lot of these exchanges because they could easily shut down and take everything. So that's why, rule of thumb, never put all your eggs on one exchange, because if they do shut down and take off, they're taking everything from you. Never heard of KuCoin, if that's even how it's properly pronounced. KuCoin is the first exchange to list Red Pulse. Yeah, so if you guys have heard of KuCoin and you've used it, share your experience with us, please. But yeah, I don't trust a lot of these exchanges that are just popping out of nowhere, because, I mean, what's to say that they just don't shut it down and take off? There was a hardware wallet. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not a hardware wallet, a web wallet a while back that came out, and I can't remember the name. And they got some YouTubers to kind of review it. And a lot of people put some F into, that web wallet. And I don't think it lasted 2 weeks, before they shut down and took everybody's cryptocurrency. And it's just, I mean, it happens, unfortunately. We might not hear about it, but it happens on a daily basis. Or, clicking on the link, that you get, that's supposed to be my Ether wallet, but the W is actually 2 V's, or they'll change something very small on it to where your eyes just don't pick it up and you end up clicking on it. And it's taking you to a site that looks just like my Ether wallet, and you're putting in your private keys. Your account's going to be drained within a matter of seconds. You don't like the space below the current. Let's see what it's doing now. All right, 759. Let's see if she maintains it. Yeah, it's definitely not healthy. This isn't a healthy price action at all. Even though it is holding that 760 to an extent, it's still not healthy because we're not uptrending at all. And the longer that she keeps retesting and retesting and retesting, eventually, somebody's going to get tired of holding this thing and be like, you know what, I'm out. I'm done. It's the weekend. I'm going away this weekend, so I'm out. Done. And they'll just hit that market sell, and we'll see a nice large red candle. All right, 759.10. Ark, what is up, buddy? What is up? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, in my honest opinion, let's take a look at a 5-minute or 3-minute chart. And I mean, I usually like to take a look at all time frames and see exactly, how are the candles on just about, a 5-minute, 15-minute time frame. 15 minutes is pretty ugly. 30 minutes is pretty ugly. 1 hour is pretty ugly. Yeah, 2 hours is nothing special. Yeah, this thing is going to crash. I mean, I shouldn't say crash, but this thing is going to retrace, and it's going to retrace to a different level that it probably hasn't seen within the past couple hours. So let's see what that level is. I mean, that 743 is still the level that I see. Still the level that I see. And if she does get any lower than that, then it would be the bottom of the wick of these candlesticks. It'd be the bottom of these wicks here. And that'd be 738, 738, 739. But yeah, we could easily see a massive red candle. And I'm going to keep this going for a little bit, but I'm going to walk away from this terminal because I don't want to end the live stream yet. I want to see exactly how this plays out. And if you guys want to chat with each other, definitely chat with each other. But I'm going to walk away for maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll end this probably at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on the dot, I'll end it, and then we'll kind of see how exactly this price action movement is handled. But we're going to get just a little granular, not the 1 minute. 1 minute is way too granular, but at least a 3 minute. All right, I'll be back. All right, so you guys are holding down the fort. All right, still hasn't crashed through it. Is BTC forming a head and shoulder? Let's take a look. Jim, welcome, by the way. So what time frame are you looking at? Indeed. Let me see if I can get a little more granular. Ooh, that's too big. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. Indeed, that is a head and shoulder. And the neck would be right around, let's see what price level this is. The neck would be right around the 54.50-ish. So we'll see if it breaks the neck and retests this level here, the 51.50-ish. But yeah, indeed, good call. And I don't think there's too much FUD that's being spread currently at the moment, to cause us to get down to that 51.50 level. Still maintaining it. Still maintaining. No break yet. But let's go ahead and take a look at the order book. Let's see if we got any big sellers. Actually, I can only view the top, maybe 10. Top 10 sellers, 10 top buyers. Do got a seller at 764.55 for 764, 76446, 76446 at 717. And they disappeared. So look, I mean, these are all bots here. Selling 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh, there we go. 765.22 for 1722. So we'll see exactly how she reacts to the 765.12, 765, 764.92. Somebody's looking to get out. Yep, nah, they just took it off. So somebody's trying to cause some sort of panic by that price going on and coming off. $762.10. Let's see if that buyer stays on. Or 1,461 OMG coins. Could be multiple buyers. We really don't have a clue. And that's why, I like Bitfinex. Well, I did like them because they actually told you exactly how many buyers and sellers were stacked up at a very specific price. But there aren't any other exchanges that gave you that ability to be able to see that. And that's just, that's a crucial information to have. 764.71, a seller for 1,095. Now he took it off, or she took it off, or they took it off. Yeah, somebody's trying to get this price to drop by putting up a huge sell order. Or they could be shorts. You know, it could be somebody trying to short it. $765.02. Let me get to the 1 minute chart. $764.82, 1,075. On the buy side, though, it doesn't look too bad on the buy side. But this one seller here could be what's causing the price to not really move up at the current time. If that's a real sell order, that could just be a fake out. So more than likely, you know, my speculation on this is that somebody wants it to drop so they can actually buy in. So what they're possibly doing is putting in a short order. And when you're shorting, actually, they just took it off because they didn't want that to execute. Let's see if that was executed. Nope, that definitely was not executed at all. So my speculation on that, it was, you know, whoever put that order, that sell order in, my honest opinion is they didn't have the coins to sell. What they're doing is they're shorting. So they're borrowing the coins and they're looking to sell it right away. That's really what shorting is. You borrow something and you sell it right away to get it to drop and then possibly buy in at a cheaper price. So that 1,461 buyer that's sitting at $7.62, 7621, could be the same person as that seller. But I don't know why they would want to buy at 762, considering, I mean, that's not really that great of a price. Unless they were looking to just scalp it. That's the only thing I can think of. All right, we got somebody that's trying to sell a little below the actual price. 764.81. There's a seller, but the actual price is 764.88. Okay, that went away. You guys are quiet in the chat. Got about 10 minutes left. We'll come back to that. Let's see what's going on with the overall market cap. And then what's down? Let's see. Storage. So storage showed that it was down 99%, but it's showing that it's up 41%. Yeah, showing that it's down 99% on Poloniex, 1.3 million in volume. Freaking insane. Not too many things are really getting beat up in the sense of being down, you know, over 20%. Vertcoin. I think I looked at that the other day. Is it VTC? That is VTC. So you bought in at 2, 250, and 3. You're originally holding as for long term, but made good profit, debating to sell or rebuy. Do I think it'll go higher? I don't know. Let's see, why did it retrace from that level? I mean, it was close to its all-time high. Let me actually look at this on a one-day chart. No, definitely. Wow, 750 was its all-time high. That's a pretty crazy move. From, well, that was March 2014. Okay. Yeah, so it's current 52-week high, $4.75. And yeah, I remember looking at this. Not on the last video, but on the video I did on Monday. And at that time, it was crashing hard, and it was right around this level here that I looked at it. And I think I said, if this thing gets up to the 380, there could be people that bought this pretty high and they decided, what, I was down a lot, but now I kind of minimized my loss. So you know what, I'm going to be happy with the loss I have because it's a very minimal loss in comparison to what it was in the past. I'm going to go ahead and sell. And that's exactly what they did. So they really got this thing to drop from 383 back down to 284, 83-ish. Let's see how she broke out of that. Not a clear break. I mean, she got a little above it, but closed right at that level of 389, pulled back down to 362, and had a nice push up. So you were basically, scaling in on the way up. I'm assuming on this, since you bought at 2, then you bought at 250, then you bought at 3. So depending on how much you bought, you could easily figure out your cost average. But yeah, I don't know if I would hold this long term. And that's just personally me, but I don't know too much about Vertcoin. But I'm sure, since you bought it, you probably know more about this than I do. But we'll see how she's going to react to the level of 389, whether she's going to break through it, or is that going to be the new support? Prior resistance could become new support. And as long as she maintains it, then that is a new support. And then she could actually head up and retest at 438 and then maybe break back down. Or if she breaks out of that 438 with a vengeance, then that's a clear confirmation of a breakout. And she could break out to that 480 or 475-ish, which was the high that she set. But yeah, really, it all depends how she reacts to the current resistance that it could form as a new support over here. But yeah, I mean, those aren't bad profits at all. I mean, if you bought at 2 and then you bought at 250 and you bought at 3, yes, you raised your cost average, which there's nothing wrong with it at all. But yeah, I mean, at some point you got to be happy with the profits and say, you know what, let me just lock in these profits. And then, if you believe in it, then wait for a dip to buy back in. And if it does dip, which I'm not saying that it will dip, I mean, what are the levels that it could dip to? 353, which would be the 100-day moving average, and then possibly 340. 340 is probably the dip that I would be possibly seeing if it gets to that level. Let's see what messages I'm getting here. Chinese exchanges seek second chance in Japan and other more crypto-friendly countries. We'll see how that works out. A lot of people are saying it will challenge LTC. Ooh. People are hyping it up. People are hyping it up. That's a big hype. That's like saying, you know, to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to put down Vertcoin because I don't really know too much about it, but that's like saying, you know, when a lot of these cryptocurrencies were coming out, they were saying, oh, you know, this is the Bitcoin killer, this is the Bitcoin killer. And there really wasn't a Bitcoin killer. And I don't think there will be anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, you know, anybody can spread, you know, that type of rumor because they want the price to go up. They want Vertcoin to go up. You know, they've accumulated tons of it and they're holding tons of it. So, you know, I wouldn't hold this thing forever, you know, with that information that's being spread. I mean, anything you really hear, just take it with a grain of salt, to be honest with you. Yeah, not a problem. I mean, you know, I'll gladly take a look at any cryptocurrency you guys ask me to take a look at. Tony, welcome, buddy. Not a problem, man. You're welcome. And God bless as well. Right back at you. But yeah, you know what? She hasn't crashed below that prior resistance becoming current support. She hasn't crashed below it. So that's somewhat of a healthy sign, somewhat short-term bullish at the current moment. But we got to remember, I mean, you know, any of these cryptocurrencies, any of them can be manipulated. Any of them. But I mean, this is pretty good, though. I mean, when it came down to 239, I mean, I was looking at this. Somebody asked me to take a look at it. And it was basically towards the end of Monday's video that I covered Vertcoin. And she was situated right at this green candlestick here. That's where she was situated. So, I mean, even at the top of that candlestick, which was a high of, let's just say $3, you know, from 3 to 388. I mean, those are pretty significant. I'm sorry, from 3 to 438. I mean, that's pretty significant. As long as, you know, whoever bought it there didn't panic and sell, you know, as it was dropping to 286. But yeah, it's going to have these types of retracements. And you just got to be happy with the profit, lock them in, and then kind of wait for it to kind of retrace to get back in if this is something that you believe in. But yeah, because if you're just holding on to it and it starts to dip and it's dipping from 388, you know, down to 286, a dip of $1, more than likely somebody might just say, you know what, I had a good amount of profit and now those profits are dwindling. I'm going to go ahead and sell and just be happy with the profit I have. And then it ends up going right up and you're like, why did I sell? And then end up chasing it again. But yeah, as long as it holds at 388, it's short-term bullish at the current moment. Short-term bullish. But it is 12 o'clock. Let's take a look at OMG just real quick before I end this live stream. You started in it 2 weeks ago. Dude, and you're already in the profit? Dude, virtual high five, bud. Virtual high five. That's awesome. Yeah, just be happy with your profits. That's all I can say. Just be happy with the profits you have. And a lot of times, you know, when you end up selling, it'll go up. When you end up buying, it'll go down. But in your situation, I mean, you scaled in as it was going up, you know, raised your cost average, but you're still in the profit, which is good. And, you know, lock in those profits if you're happy with it. And then, you know, pay attention to it when it dips to a comfortable, healthy level that you're comfortable buying back in. Then, I mean, you got the principal, plus you got the principal, plus you got the profits to be able to buy in back more. Is that what it is? The one-click mining? I got to research that. I need to research that. But yeah, that could be what's sending the price up then. Take a look at Doge. Olaf, welcome. Actually, I did look at Doge. I don't know at what time frame, but it was kind of early on. And I waited for Daniel to get on the live stream for me to actually talk about Doge because he asked me to take a look at it last Wednesday, and I completely forgot about it. So I waited for him to hop on the live stream, and then I briefly covered it. But it's nothing impressive, to be honest with you. Nothing impressive at all. It seemed like it was in a consolidation, but I don't really remember at what point in this video I talked about it, but it was pretty early on. I'm going to say maybe 20 minutes into the live stream, I talked about it. The FOMO has you holding. Yeah, that's what ends up, taking a lot of people's profit away. I can't tell you what to do, but yeah, you got to be happy with the decision that you make. And I always say too, I mean, you don't have to sell everything at a key level, of you being profitable, but learn to lock in the profit, some profit, maybe sell a quarter of your position, and still have, 3/4 left, just in case that it does end up breaking out and going up higher. And let's just say hypothetically it ends up dropping. Then at least you have some profit that you've taken already to add back into that position if this is something that you believe in. No problem, Olaf. Hello back to you, by the way. But yeah, definitely, just rewind the video and watch it. And but I did talk about it a little bit. But yeah, it's not really not something I would cover for too long. The price action is not impressive at all. The price action move is just, it's not there at all. But I mean, it could be the bottom where it's consolidating and just consolidating and consolidating, and somebody's accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Because there was a news article out, or somebody wrote an article of how they manipulated Doge and how they got it to go up, and specifically what they did. And Oni, I don't know if you're on here, but maybe on the next live stream, I'll get Oni to share that article with you guys. But ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. I appreciate you joining this live stream, as always, and nothing but the utmost respect, peace and love to anybody that's joining this live stream, whether you're new or you're an existing viewer that's consistently coming on this live stream all the time, that when I do these things, and I really appreciate it with the bottom of my heart. You guys do make this live stream very interactive and fun, and really it motivates me to keep doing these on a regular basis. And it's people like you that, I really appreciate joining these live streams. So thank you so much for joining. This is a Crypto Trader and CryptoTraders Room. One of the last places, not the only place, but one of the last places or frontier in keeping it real with honesty and integrity. And of course, CryptoTraders Room is a place where we eat, drink, sleep, dream, trade, and invest in digital currencies. And if you did find this information helpful, make sure to pound that like button, euro that like button. And also, get the word out. Share this, share the link, tweet it out, share it with many people as you can. Let's get this community to grow. And I think the more people that we get, that are like-minded, the better that we'll be. And especially sharing information that's out there, because one person cannot really gather all the information. But the more people that we have to be able to share some valuable information, the better that we're going to be in making an informed decision. Until Monday, this is Crypto Trader and Crypto Traders Room. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and protect those profits. And if you haven't done so already, get yourself a hardware wallet. I highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, you guys take care. Peace and love.